Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Sakshi and this lecture will be discussing about mathematics of Discrete Mathematics Semester second. Okay, so we have a start from the question number one. Okay, so question number one we have if A equals B equals this, then B is what? B is the proper subset of A. Okay. Next question we have a symbol. This denotes what? Subset. Two sets are disjoint if their intersection is 5. There's nothing is there that is common. So universals that contain your element under consideration. Okay. If n of A equals to the number of proper subsets to the power 3 to the power, the formula is until it over here. The formula is for proper subset is to the power n minus 1. Okay, this is the formula. Okay, so to the power number of n is equal to 3 to the power 3 to the power 3 means 8, 8 minus 1 is that is 7. Okay, so that's why 7 is correct answer. Okay, Cartesian product of A cross B is commutative when A equal B equal 5. Okay, relation from A to B can be represented by matrix diagraph. Diagraph means directed graph. Okay, set of order where all of these. Which relation is antisymmetric? Less or equal? A function f such that returns to B is onto if every element of A, B has at least one previous. Okay, there is no element that doesn't have any previous elements, so that would be called as onto. It will call onto at least one pre-mass exist always. Okay. If a function is polynomial, then onto call what? Bijective. Okay. Composition of function is denoted as this number. The domain of function refers to inputs. Okay. The range of function refers to all possible in outputs. Okay. Locked in this, I can write on this 10 to the power 3, so 3 into 1 that would be 0. Okay. A graph of exponential function y equal to the power of values passes through 0 and 1. The inverse of log function is exponential. In a group associativity means this. Which of the following forms a group under addition and integer? Always. The order of identity element is 1. 1 for what? For the multiplication. Okay. The inverse of inverse of an element is the same element. A single group requires associativity only. Which group operation is commutative? SCCA, addition of integer. The set of non-zero rational numbers under multiplication form groups. Okay. An isomorphism preserved structure or more highly formulas from Z2 itself is called endomorphism. Okay. Left closet coset and right cosets are equal to abelian group. Underlying the inverse multiplication is commutative is called commutative group. Okay. Infield is an integral domain because it has no zero divisor. Okay. Proposition is another name of statement. A statement is what that is either true or false. Okay. Whose connective means if and only if this. Truth table is used to determine truth values. Okay. So P disjunction Q is false when both parts. Okay, this work as a addition. P conjunction Q is true when both are true. Okay, this work as a multiplication. Double negation of P gives P inside. Okay, this law states here. This is identity law. Okay. The statement this is logically equivalent to this verb. This. Quantifier are used in predicate logic. What quantifier means there exist. There exist is this. First is for all. This is disjunction. This is conjunction, and this is if A is true. If A is true, then B. This is the symbol called. Okay. A free variable is a variable that not bound by quantifier. The negation of for all x Px is this. The degree of a graph vertex with loop and one edge is 3. A graph is finite if finite number of vertices and edges exist. And a joining a vertex to itself is called a loop. Okay. The maximum number of edges in a simple graph with n vertices is n into n minus 1 by 2. A graph with all vertices of even degree is called Euclidean candidate. Okay. A connected graph with one vertices and n minus 1 edges is called a tree. That would be the acyclic. No cycle will exist. Okay. This graph has exactly one path between every pair of vertices called tree. Okay. In a complete bipartite graph, Km and total vertices are n plus n. Okay. A graph is connected if there is at least one path between every pair of vertices exist. Okay. And the adjacency matrix of a simple graph is symmetric. Incidence matrices represent relation between vertices and edges. Number of edges in cyclic graph C is n. A real graph is found by joining one vertex to all vertices of a cycle. The complement of bipartite graph is always not necessarily bipartite. This graph has chromatic number 2, that is bipartite. A graph containing no base is called what? Non-separable graph. A cut set is the set of edges whose removal disconnects graph. The distance between two vertices, the number of edges in shortest paths. Eccentricity of a vertex is greatest distance from any other vertex. Radius of graph is minimum eccentricity. Okay. Diameter is maximum eccentricity. An Euler graph must contain all even vertices. Okay. Euler path traverse into Z-rings. Hamiltonian graph contain Hamiltonian cycle. Okay. A complete graph K n is Hamiltonian for n is credible array. Which graph problem speaks minimum cost cycle for all vertices use P. Traveling sales problem. Okay. Traveling sales problem, minimum spanning tree and breadth first search. Fleury's algo is based on avoiding bridges. Okay. A graph with Euler circuit has how many vertices? 0. Which graph always has Euler circuit? Connected graph without Euler vertices has the Euler circuit. Okay. The spanning tree of graph G contain all vertices with no cycle. Number of edges removed from connected graph to form a spanning tree, that is n minus 1. Cross-skull algo sort edges are right. Cross-skull and Prim's algo is used in not minimal spanning tree. Okay. Prim's algo grows one tree. Minimal spanning tree is unique when all edges are distinct. A connected graph with exactly one cycle has n edges. A rooted tree has one distinguished vertex called root. Siblings in a tree share same parents name. Okay. Depth of a root node is not root node is 0. Okay. Level is also 0 for the root node. Okay. Binary tree means every node has exactly 2 or 0 children. Okay. But for the binary tree, it might be 0, 1 node. Okay. Maximum node at level key in binary tree is 24. The level we have to conduct power. This question is important. Okay. Next question: maximum number of nodes in a binary tree of 5 taps is to the power plus 1 minus 1. Okay. Maximum number of nodes in a binary tree of 5 taps is plus 1. So that was maximum. That was minimum. Okay. A complete binary graph of 5 taps has minimum node to the power x node. The children of same parent are called siblings. The topmost node of a tree is called a root. A node with more children is called a unique node. The edge connecting parent and child is called arc, link, or branch of trees. Okay. A subtree is itself a tree. In pre-order traversal route is visited first. In post-order traversal route is visited last. Binary search tree property states binary right subtree would be containing more value, like the greatest value in computer root, and the left tree containing the last value in computer root and subtree. Height balance tree is also known as KVL. Okay. So here one query that comes in most of the students' mind, that is KVL and reveal trees work. If you have a single node, okay, that's called the KVL tree. But ABL is height balance tree. Okay. The balance factor in ABL tree is minus 301. Okay. A graph having no isolated vertex is called a connected graph. Degree sequence of graph and sequence of vertex degree. Sum of all vertex degree in graph equal to the twice number of edges. Okay. Next question: which of the following is not a true property? It doesn't contain median. Okay. A cycle graph has a vertex of degree 2. Number of edges in a tree with 20 vertices is 90. A graph with vertices with no edges is called null graph. Okay, so we have done with this 100 questions as well. So that is actually one question we have been discussed. Okay, do revise it because a lot of important formulas are there. Okay. Home days are relevant, so that's what I'm going to do. So that was the part 3. So we have been already covered 200 questions out of Discrete Mathematics part 1, part 2, including notes if you haven't in the first videos. So that's all of this lecture. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. See you in the next video. Till then, bye. See you in the next one.